Hello, 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 and welcome back to my channel. I haven't seen you guys in such a long time. Hello. Also, I have a camera now, so we're trying on this for the first time. I can actually see myself, and also I can now use my phone to look up things on my different bookish apps. If you can't tell, I'm very excited about this. So, I haven't seen you guys in a while, in a really hot minute. I think since December? Might be y'all. I have been so busy. For those of you that watched the previous video, I went to basic training. So if you put the pieces together, I am in the military. So I have that going for me. I'm also in school at the same time. So it's kind of hard to record and remember to record and have all the time to edit and whatnot. Also, a big factor was this past school year I had a roommate, so we've been in the same dorm. So that would have been a little awkward if she walked in and I was filming. So I am here now. So I figured I would give you guys a little update of what I've been reading. I haven't read a whole lot because, school and I haven't had time. And it's really sad. But I will say, I do have quite a few books. Not as many as I would like, but I can update you on. And I can also tell you when I am reading, and then I do plan on doing a little library hunting video soon, whenever it's not raining outside. So trust that will be coming, because I know you guys like those. So to start off, we're going to start with the books that I read for school. I took a class where literally all we did was we read books and then we talked about them. A lot of them were either short stories or they were based in Nigerian culture. So it was really interesting, some of the books, but some of the books, no go. Hated them. So these are the books that I will be putting in free little libraries because I don't want to donate them when I could put them in a free little library because somebody actually might enjoy them. And also, I can find a book that I would enjoy. But a few of these are going to my friends. But anyway. So we're going to start off with, I don't know if this is going to be inverted or not. I'll figure out how to fix that. So my apologies. So we have Things Fall Apart by Chinua Achebe. I forget how to say the first name. I finished this book and I actually did really enjoy this book. This book is going to one of my friends. Look, I can pull up my phone now so I can actually look at what I rated it. Because of course I didn't have it pulled up. But I honestly really liked it. Do I have it in here? Yeah, I gave it 3 stars just because it's not my taste of a book, but it was still good and I still remember a good chunk of what happened in here, and it was far better than the majority of the books that I read for class. For class, I read all of these. There's 6. Yeah. So this is ranked second. So then we had these 2 books. This is One World, a global anthology of short stories. So this and there's the second book of this. These are fully short stories. That's all this is short stories. Sorry, I was looking at my battery life. It's so crazy that I have a camera now. These are both going to one of my friends because she absolutely loves short stories. But I personally, we only had to read a few of the short stories in each of them, so I can't tell you a majority of what this is. I also didn't rate them because I didn't technically finish them because I didn't read everything in the stories. So, yeah. Oh, also, Peep the Nails. Aren't they gorgeous? I love them. I put them on yesterday. I can only wear them for a little bit because then I have training. I don't know. Then the next book that we have is My Life in the Book of Ghosts, in the Bush of Ghosts, by Amos Tutuola. I don't forget how to say the name. This book, what did I rate this book? Oh, Lord. This book was by far, I think, one of the worst books that I read in this class. I did read this book fully. I rated this, did I even put it on here? Yeah, 1.5. I could not tell you what happened in this book. This book was so wild. You honestly might like it if you like a ton of twists and turns, but like one of the main things that stood out for me that I didn't like it was like this main character, he went into like this bush, this other realm full of ghosts and lived with ghosts. And there's different villages of ghosts and like countries, cultures of ghosts. But the main thing is it would jump times in the middle of a sentence. Like I obviously don't have all of my highlights in here anymore, but like it would literally be like right here. It'd be like, oh, 2 weeks later, 3 years later, like. And I don't think it was always in twos though. I noticed it was like 2s, 4s, 6, something like that. We all noticed that in my class. But this book, some of you may not like it. I hated this book. Again, 1.5. Getting rid of this one immediately. It's going to a free little library because somebody else might like it. I did not like it. Then this book is by far my favorite that I read in the class, and that's saying something. I rated this book 2 stars. Wait, did I rate this one 3 stars? Okay, so maybe this one was number 1, this one's number 2. Anyway, this is Haroun and the Sea of Stories by Salman Rushdie. This one was kind of a young adult book, and it was kind of coming of age book, while also it's about a little boy protecting his father, who's a really good storyteller. But then this mythical creature comes, or this genie, and he's like taking away his father's ability to tell stories because his father got them magically through like this water and like a sink or something, like his faucet. So it's a whole journey with them, and I think it's really fun. There's multiple different covers of Haroun and the Sea Stories. This is my cover, the more popular one. Looks like, hold on, I'll show you. The more popular, you may have seen it, looks like that. So, that's the book I'm talking about. If you see that one on shelves, I do recommend reading that one. However, this last book, I did not finish it. This book is How Late by James Kelman. I didn't even finish this book. I did not rate it. I think I rated it 0 stars. This is heavily written in heavy Scottish accent. So it was hard to read. Some of the words you had to like write a glossary for. He made us do that on like our notebooks. I did not like it. I didn't understand what was happening most of the time. And a majority of the book, I feel like the book could be like that big with what my class was discussing. Didn't need to be this big. Because pretty much it's about a guy who was blind because he was beat up by the police. Even though he did something to provoke the police. And then his girlfriend or significant other leaves him because he goes back to a empty house, and he's an alcoholic. So, and his only friends are friends that he meets in the bar, and he's blind now, and he's not gonna get any help. This was obviously the last book that we read, so obviously it's fresh in my mind. So that's this one. It's How Late Was How Late. How Late It Was How Late, yeah. So, don't recommend this one, but again, you might like it if you want something heavy Scottish. This is my opinion. You can totally have different opinion. So, those are the books that I read for class. I'm gonna remember which friend goes to which. Oh, there we go. It was only 2 friends. Anyway, so now we're gonna get back to my personal books that I read. So I read. Okay, I'm trying to go chronologically. So I read The Zodiac Academy. I gave it up by Caroline Beckham and Susan Valenti. I love this book. I read this book so quick, within like 3 days. Mind you, remember that. I read this book in like 3 or 4 days. Okay? Because there's a book similar that I will get back to later that's a similar size. Okay? This book, I gave it 5 stars, and I immediately, my boyfriend likes to take me to Barnes & Noble because he knows that's one of my favorite stores. So, guess where we went literally that afternoon or that next day, I don't remember. And I bought the second book. Love this book, highly recommend it. It is a big series, so if you start it and are one of those people that like to buy the whole series before you read it, or you like want to read the whole series at once, know that this is a 13-book series, even though there's only 12 zodiac signs. Anyway, next I read I gave it 4 stars. Now this is my boyfriend and his father and his brother, their all-time favorite book. And I'm sure, and it's very popular, so I'm sure somebody heard about it. But it's Project Hail Mary. There's a movie that just came out with, who was it? Ryan Gosling. The movie was really good. I do kind of wish that they didn't cut it down to the time that it was. Because originally the movie was supposed to be 4 hours. And then apparently they cut it down to like two and a half. Which like, I mean, that's fine. But like for those of us that have read the book and like loved the book, we would sit there for the 4 hours. So I really did love this book. This book was great. It was my favorite. But it was so good. I would honestly read it again. So, and that's saying something that I would immediately reread this. So it was really good. Oh, and it's by Andy Weir. Anyway, oh, you can kind of see yourself in that. See how there's a reflection now? You didn't get that before because I didn't have a camera before. So now I'm really excited about my camera, and I really hope it works. Like I can figure out how to upload it and edit and stuff. Okay, so the next book that I read was Electric Idol by Katie Robert. I gave this one 5 stars. It is a Greek mythology rewriting, I guess. So it like really focuses on Dimitri and Aphrodite and their Aphrodite's son and one of Dimitri's daughters. So I think it's really good, especially if you like romance, and then it's also yeah, it's a really big romance, and also it's a forced marriage. So if you like that trope, that's what this is, like a marriage out of convenience. That's what they did. Also, what I really like is this Dimitri's daughter. I have not read a book quite like, I think I've read another book that I will, whenever I'm home, there will be books that I will have another update on those books that I've read. But she has a different body type than a majority of the other characters in books that we've seen. She's on the plus size, and they mention it a couple times throughout the book. But like if you look up the fan art, the artists that draw the fan art for this book, like they do such a good job. So I'm pulling this closer so you can remember the title, Electric Idol. Closer so you can remember the title, Electric Idol. Again, this looks inverted. I will figure that out. I promise. Maybe. So, the next book that I read, I don't remember how much I rated this one. Oh, I rated this one 3 stars. This is A Knight of Seven Kingdoms. It is the prequel to A Game of Thrones. I really liked it. My boyfriend watched the show and he wanted me to read this. My boyfriend's also kind of a reader, but he's also a movie geek. So, like, I like to read the books before I watch the movie. So, it's funny because some of the details in the book don't happen in the movie or show. And I'm like, oh my god, did this happen? He's like, I don't know. Anyway, so that's this book. This book focuses on Egg and Sir Dunk, and mainly them. Also, a fantastic thing about this book. Oh my god, my drink is just so bad today. I'm so sorry. Is this book has pictures. Like, some of these pictures are like huge. Like, I haven't read a picture book in a long time, and that was amazing. So, that's this book. Soon be on HBO. So if you want to watch this show, it's on HBO. Okay. Then the next book I read, I believe I gave this one. Okay, I gave this one 4.5. This is called The Blessed. I have the second book back home. Honestly, if you guys like, it's not, I want to say it's sci-fi, because the plot twist in this book, insane. Like, leading up, like, throughout the book, you're, like, set to believe a certain character is, like, you know, the villain or something, and then obviously it's a different character. So it's amazing. There's really hard girl power in here because there's 3 girls. They don't know each other, but they're the same age. They end up in the hospital the same day, and the same night, which happens to be Halloween night, and they get discharged all on the same day. Again, they're all the same age. And they somehow get drawn to this church, and then there's also, they know they're there for a reason, and they all are given these bracelets that each of them have a different, like, charm on them. And then they find that in the church. Really good book. I really recommend this book. I don't know where you would find it because this copy specifically went through a public library near my house, then a used bookstore, and then my friend bought it, and then I took it from my friend. So this book is a really good book. It was a really hard find. I assume it's a hard find because I had to like manually input it into my book apps. So really recommend The Blessed. This is one of the many covers. This is one of the characters. I usually don't like real people on the cover, but she was gorgeous. Oh, such a good book. Highly recommend it. Okay, 2 more books. This book. So, remember my Zodiac Academy book that it took me 3 days to get through? Yeah? Yes? So this is the actual Game of Thrones book. Woohoo! About the same thickness, alright? Actually, I want to compare something. Okay, so Zodiac Academy has about 500 pages. And then this book is about 679. But the pages are so thin. Like if anyone's religious and has a Bible, same thickness. This is such a thin page. I DNF'd this book last night. I'm sorry, but I could not do it. I was about a third of the way through, and I was 3 weeks in. About 3 weeks in. I usually read a book within a week, maybe 2. Having 3 weeks and only being a third of the way in, I was like, clearly I'm not enjoying this book. I'm only reading this so I can watch the movie with my boyfriend. There's too many POVs. There was like 8 POVs. So, like, it kept switching and I couldn't remember which character. I just couldn't keep things straight. And there were so many names, like, throughout. There was, like, name upon name, like, 2 names every other sentence. Like, in the same sentence, every other sentence. It was so hard to follow. It was good for the most part because I liked some of the characters, so I gave it 2 stars. Like, I liked the girls, and that sounds really sexist, but, like, I like John, I like the mom, Caitlin, and I like Caitlin's 2 daughters. The other POVs, I didn't really understand, and I don't really like them. So, that's this book. That's why I'm not reading this one. And this one, I don't know what I'm going to do with this one yet. Figure out where that's going to go. Probably free to the library. Might try and sell it. We'll see. Anyway, the book that I started then last night, because I have to be reading something, was Charming by Jade Linwood. I don't think I said. Okay, so The Blessed is by Tanya Hurley. So if you look it up, you have to look up the author too. Tanya Hurley. And then Game of Thrones and A Knight of Seven Kingdoms by the same author, George R.R. Martin. Also, I love when books do that. That's the only like good thing about this book. Anyway, so this book does not do that, but this is Charming by Jade Linwood. I really like it so far. It's pretty much instead of like it gives Rapunzel-esque vibes, just because of the color in the tower on the cover. But it's pretty much like the prince is known for being like well-mannered and handsome and charming and all these things, but actually he's a con man, a liar, and it's just a fraud. And eventually, he goes around like saving these princesses and maidens that are like damsels in distress. Well, eventually these 3 girls find out what he's doing or something, and they team up and go against him to get revenge. So I'm only a chapter in. But it's honestly so much better than Game of Thrones. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry if you're a Game of Thrones fan, but I just can't read the book. I really want to watch the movie now, so hopefully I can get visuals and actually understand things more. But I needed this refresher, guys. Okay, so that's my little life update. Why I haven't been reading as much, what I have read so far. I will probably film another video a little bit later with books that I brought to college with me because, as I mentioned, my boyfriend likes to take me to Barnes & Noble. So, maybe a free little library video coming soon, but it's going to be rainy for like the next 4 days, so we'll see. Maybe this weekend I'll film one. We'll see. Well, thank you guys for coming. I hope you have a good day, good night, good evening, whenever you're watching this, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye!